Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another evening show called the Daily Roundup. And what do we do here in this particular show? What we do is take a look at everything that happened during the day, again, that concerns Chelsea Football Club, and put it in a single bucket, analyze it. You can say put precise way. Again, if you were at work, if you were at school, and happen to have missed it, don't be again worried. We're here with you. If that makes any sort of sense. Sorry if you cannot see my screen. I think I have to change this presentation to this. So yes, again, welcome back again. Once again, I cracking show this evening because there are a few interesting topics to talk about. Yes, thank you once again. What do we have in the chat already? And unfortunately, again, I know you're the first here, but every time I see a comment in the chat, even if you're the first thing that comes to mind is my brother Liam Lane. But you're my brother too. Liam Lane is currently not again 100%. He's recovering from something I don't want to say here. Again, I hope he gets better soon. But big up to you, Chelsea, all the way. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says, sell Kovacic and get a Casado. That is some suggestion there. First of all, you have to decide again whether again you can get what you get from Kovacic from Casado and say no. At least from what I know, or let me say, in my opinion, just to be safe, I don't think we can get what again from Casado what we will get from Kovacic. Kovacic is a different player. Kovacic is the only player that plays when Chelsea play against teams that defend deep, against teams that press us aggressively. Because Kova is the sort of player that no matter how the opposition plays presses, no matter how many players you have in him, he still find a solution in tight spaces. Yes, it's not the most prolific in terms of his assist numbers or goal scoring numbers, but you could say again, the way we play him, those situations hardly come back to him. If he played again closer to the final third, in a situation where to score goals or plenty of opportunities to create chances, I think he's well equipped to do that. Again, but it's easy to look at him and say, what does he really bring to this team? And I say again, that is dangerous. I think he's a very, very fine player, one that I think we should keep. And especially again, he's in his prime. He's a very good player. And right now, if anything, he'd be even better than he was a year or 2 years ago. All we need is just to ensure that he stays fit. So I'm not going to beat those Kovacic. And the surprising aspect of the whole thing, I know some of, again, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen people who are calling for the clubs to sell, cash in on Kovacic. But that again, the same people calling, again, as much as I don't think Mason Mount is a bad player, that's some people are calling for the club to keep Mason Mount and give him what he's asking. So that shocked me really. But maybe again, all of us we see football differently. We see things from different lenses. To me, I don't think it would make any sort of sense to sell Kovacic, especially now that we need to find a way again to ensure that we still have balance in the team. Because if Kova leaves and Thiago Silva again doesn't play that much, I think we'll have again a balance issue. We'll have just too many young players that can, and I don't think that will lead us anywhere at all. And Logan, big up to you, Logan. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Always a nice, always nice to see you. Logan says again, hi. Selling Kovacic to City is again is the will be the biggest again stupidity. Pep knows how to use him. Kova is still young and has a quality. I want him to stay, but if he wants to leave, that's the only time I'd say let him go. If the player himself wants to leave, then I'd say let him go. But if the player, again, as good as he is, we should push. We should try to keep him and not let him go. It will be a huge mistake. Again, I don't know. Again, like I said, how a player, I've always argued that how a player plays comes down, again, to the manager's demand. For instance, I see Jorginho, he looks like a reborn player, by the way, if that makes sense. He looks like a reborn player. Again, it all comes down to the manager's demand. And that's why the manager's demand, again, my argument is that, again, why I say that how well a player does or how well a player plays in most cases does come down to how the manager to the manager's demand. That's why you see certain players play very well on the can be rubbish under one manager and then be world class in what. By the way, I don't think we should let Kovacic go. It will be one of the biggest in a while. I think we should let him stay. Again, why do we think Pep needs him? Because he knows him. He has the quality. And again, he probably must have paid proper attention to that particular game he played against them. That he was just brilliant. I think he was our best player on the day. So I wouldn't advocate the club selling Kovacic. Again, if you have anything else you want us to read, put it in the chat, and I'll try my best to get it. After all, we don't have too many people in chat. Coach, Kit Kovacic, that's exactly what I'm going to do. If I happen to be the one to make that decision, it wouldn't make any sort of sense to let him go. I get it. Again, you can say he's not been quite fit. He just recovered from an injury, and he's not fully fit. And I wouldn't judge him by that pairing again, where we had him paired with Enzo Fernandez. Again, I think that was against Fulham. It wouldn't make any sort of sense to judge him because of that game. That was again, you could say that was again you could say the pairing himself doesn't make any sort of sense because he doesn't differ that much from Enzo Fernandez. So if that, I hope you understand that. We need to keep him when Enzo isn't playing. He's a player that's capable of fulfilling the Enzo role, if that makes sense. But that's, by the way, let me see what else we have again to talk about here. I think we have a few topics lined up. Let's see again. I hope my screen isn't frozen. I want us to start from this one here. Sorry about that. That is a bit not clear there. Let me see. I don't want this window. Is this me reading? Find interesting topics. See, hopefully my screen isn't frozen. This one here, I really, I want us to talk about this one, and I am a big advocate of the club keeping him, and I'm happy that it looks like they're going to do so. Yep, again, I know you know the man I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second here. Yep, I want to close that the tab. Okay, that's by the way again. Yep, thank you so much. Again, it says Kovacic is not for sale. Okay, again, and that's Babuka Jouf. Here's the thing, Babuka Jouf. That's we're discussing the topics out there, and from what we're hearing, Manchester City are interested, and that doesn't mean Chelsea will sell. But the concerning aspect of the whole thing, he doesn't have much left on his contract. I think I have to check that quickly with my iPad. I think he has about 18 months left on his contract. So in 2024, he'd have just about less than a year left on his contract, and by then it will become even more difficult to negotiate with him, and then you won't get that much money from him. I think, if anything, even if we don't want to keep him beyond 2023, we should try and get him to put pen to paper. He's a very fine player, first of all. Secondly, he's Croatian, and Croatian players are respected. Again, they have that grit. Again, if you need a player that will always give, again, 100% plus on the pitch, if you have a Croatian, you get that from them. So let me check how much he still has on his contract. Kovacic, Chelsea contract. Give me a second. Kovacic, the Chelsea contract, the transfer market. Let's look at it in a beat. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't taken a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, his contract expires in about a year, probably just about a year left on his contract. So it's a risk now. And it's again, I don't know why we left it too late. It will be very, very difficult to get him to put pen to paper for another, for a new contract. So again, I'm concerned. He's a player I like so much. And this is not me. I'm not being sentimental when I say I like him. If you know him too well, you know what he brings to the table. He's a fine player, and he's stayed. Again, it just my only concern is that again recently he's not been full. He hasn't stayed fit, but it looks like he's recovered. And again, only thing is that he's not match fit. But I wouldn't want us to let Kovacic go It's not right now. He's not that. He's that sort of player. If it ever comes to again to the situation where the club have to let him go on a free, they will leave to regret it. He's a fine player, and I don't want to see that happen. Let's talk about this again topic in particular here. What does it say? This one here before I go back to what I was saying. Where's that going blank? I don't know. Um, oh my goodness, I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, this particular topic here, which is again the Frenchman. This time, the Frenchman who arrived at Chelsea in June 27, or again June 2027, or 2026, plus an option for last year. Again, that is again amazing. I like that. I do really love that again, which means I think what I'm seeing, it just seems as if the club or the new owners have realized the importance of taking the transition, or maybe even the transition period, taking it gradual, and not be drastic about the whole process. Otherwise, again, we will lack, should I call it backbone, or we'll lack leadership? Because if Kante leaves, I think this team, you could say, will have no spine at all. They will not have anything close to being a spine, and that's dangerous. Look how badly we played in his absence. I think his presence will make a whole lot of difference, if that makes sense. Let me see what else we have here. Kovacic is not for so. I think so too. We need again. Okay. I'm not sure why you have to be that specific. Why do you say that? Can you elaborate? I really do want to understand why you're saying that. Bobby Fairview, big up Kachila again. Let's test these membership collars. Is it test these collars? Yes. Again. Test again. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by collars. You mean change it? But by the way, more importantly, I want to thank you for becoming a member. That will go a long way, and thank you so much. Thanks so much to you, brother. Again, you were the one that actually said, Coach, you got to do this, that you want to support the channel. I actually didn't want to do it, again, even at 10,000 subscribers, but thank you for suggesting that. That will help me, again, be prepared, because I want to be doing something monthly for students to help them, because I was once a student myself, and I'm actually still, again, a student, but at a higher level. So again, because I could still walk and do that and earn a lot and do that at the same time. So I'm not really considered a student, but that's by the way. But more importantly, thank you. We'll go along with thank you so much. And Cash again. More importantly, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Enzo is not showing sign of leadership. We still need a Kovacic. Yep. Again, the good thing is this. Man City, they want him again. They're going to try to sign him in the summer. It's just for the whole room, because we haven't heard anything from the Chelsea camp saying, okay, we want to sell or nothing. So at this point, it's just Man City, just Pep Guardiola wanting the player. But again, it brings to mind the fact that if there's any measure of truth in this rumor, that again, the fact that Pep Guardiola wants him, and he's always he's on. I think I've heard him on occasion speak highly of Kovacic. That alone will be enough to turn Kovacic's head, and he will be reluctant to extend, and probably would want to join Man City. I hope it doesn't come to that, because I really do like him. Nice look again at the star. Okay, thank you so much. I didn't know you liked the star, but thank you for becoming a member. More importantly, I cannot thank you enough for always supporting the channel. Here again, it's going to be record-breaking, and again, a black coach. Maybe can yeah, maybe can you could say sets the you could say I don't know how should I if a coach hires again, if Chelsea hires a black coach, maybe you can be setting the standard, or maybe showing all this again that again black coaches are capable of doing it. But yeah, I get it. But thank you for bringing that up. It makes sense actually. It's a good argument, because we haven't seen a black coach, a black man coach again. You can say a big team such as Chelsea. Well, again, what if you have seen any? Let me know. I've seen Ince at Blackburn, Ince coach Blackburn, who was again, I don't remember, but that's by the way. Let's see again, Cover will be surplus to requirement. Again, sell him, but not to direct rivals. Again, if you want to sell him, again, if the player wants to join Man City, it'd be difficult to convince him to do otherwise. Yeah. So if you really decide you want to sell him, you don't have the right to tell him where to go. Really, I don't think you can do that. All parties involved have to agree again on what club the player joins. If you want to sell Kova will say, okay, I want to join Manchester City. You have to agree to sell him to City, or I think gets to leave the club as a free agent, which is a huge risk because he's a fine player. Again, Mabast 05 says again, big up coach. Chelsea needs a squad overhaul next season, and we need an elite manager. Let me ask you a question. I don't understand when people say Chelsea needs a squad overhaul. How many players do we? Again, how many of the old guys do we have left? Can talk about overhaul. How many players did we sign again? Are you going to start overhauling the team again after spending 600 million? It just doesn't make any sort of sense. Um, if anything, I agree. Again, maybe some players, quite a few players will leave in the summer. Players such as where do I have that out? Again, let me try and share this particular screen quickly. Consider selling in the summer or let go. Again, most likely, which makes sense for each. I would want to sell them. Just give me a second so that the screen I'm sharing shows up there. All right, we have it's a bit too tiny. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, just give me a second. I need to zoom out even more. Okay, if you can see it, I think in the list we have the list of players that will most likely leave Chelsea in the summer. They include Ziyech, Aubameyang, no surprise. Ziyech, no surprise. He wanted to join PSG, and that one fell through. Cesar Spilicueta, I would say again, no surprise either. And again, are expected to be allowed to leave. Big decisions could also be taken over Chilwell and Gallagher in the coming months. Again, Mount and Havertz could go if they will not commit to a longer deal. Questions over Koulibaly remain. I think Koulibaly stays. But if you're in the chat, can you let me know again? I want to know, get your opinion. Do you think it makes any sort of sense to let Adventure go? I don't think it does. If we let him go, then we'll have just Kukurea, except if Ian Matson comes back. But we're not sure what's going to happen. He doesn't have much. Demand them quite a lot from the club. So it wouldn't make any sort of sense, again, to just let Chilwell go without even being sure that Matson will come back to the club. Big up to you two. Again, let's see what happens. Good evening, coach. Good evening to you too, Cash. I hope you're doing well. And to my bro, Bobby Fairview, he says, yo, Johnny Minares is over there, popping off again on ball. Sorry, look, today. Again, that was why we didn't do Blue Money Show. So apologies for that. So if you're saying the manager needs to be sacked, again, given what we're seeing, clearly it's become clear even to his biggest supporters that he isn't really the man. Even if he has the talent to take us to where we feel like we should be, I don't think it's really not working for him. Will be to let him go. You can't say again, let's overhaul the squad again because we just spent 600 million. If you say overhaul, which means even the new signings the new signings have to leave too. So yeah, again, at this point, a lot of people are blaming Bolly himself. He has to take action, no sentiment. But I'm thinking it's not as easy as it sounds. Because again, it would be an expensive, very, very again, it would be seriously you could say an expensive decision to decide. You know what, we want to let him go. But the question I asked those in the chat, if you're there, let me know. Do you think again it will make sense to let Ben Chilwell go and have just Marco Correa? I don't think it makes any sort of sense. And if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you so much. The likes will go a long way. CFC Dennis says if we sign Thomas from Thomas Frank after Potter, then Chelsea is a dead club. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sort of sense. Like I've seen my fellow content creators argue, they don't differ. You're also signing a manager with just potentials. He hasn't proven much. We're Chelsea. I get it. Again, it was a huge risk. We should only get managers who have proven that they're capable of getting the job done. Otherwise, you're taking a risk situation where big name sponsors will be running away from you. And again, without Champions League football, I think they will learn a big lesson by the time it hits the club's pocketbooks, if that makes sense. Again, my biggest concern is that if that happens, then we're more than likely to be a part of the, you could say, the just resurrected, is it called again, European Super League. That really. JC, I'll pick up to you too, brother. Patrick Vieira at Crystal Palace, the same category. He hasn't proven anything. I get it. He hasn't done anything special to say he's the man. You can't say Patrick Vieira is the man. It's a huge, huge risk. It's a huge, huge risk. So I wouldn't do that either. If that makes sense. Just responding to somebody there, I agree. But look at the Crystal Palace coach. Again, he's doing well and would do better if he had a quality. If he had quality to coach. Can you tell me again? Didn't a lot of us, even I did that with regards to Graham Potter. When I heard that Thomas Tuchel was fired and that Chelsea were looking to hire him because I liked the way his Brighton team played. They played as a unit. They played good football, but I didn't really pay attention. And I felt like this your argument right here. I also felt like maybe if he had a squad as good as the Chelsea squad, maybe he'd do better. Boy, was I wrong. Again, because after the first 2, 3 games, 5 games, even as we were winning games, even as we had that unbeaten run under him, I had a lot of questions because I've seen him. I started seeing him up close. I started seeing that it doesn't look like he's paying attention to the numbers of our previous game, and he kept repeating again his mistakes game after game. And I've always talked about the example I used, the game against Salzburg, where we played with just recognized defenders, but that is now again on that day that was the least of my problem. My problem was that again, Salzburg, if they were again clinical on the day, they would have battered us. So again, and we during the post-game show we argued that please he shouldn't do that in the Premier League, that it was going to be a huge risk. And lo and behold, boy, again against Brighton in the Premier League, he did the same thing, and he didn't have anybody in the midfield that's capable of slowing things down. Because Brighton was their approach on the day was so high octane, we weren't able to deal with it, and we didn't have anybody in that's a register that can help us calm things down. We still played with with only 3 recognized defenders, and that showed me he didn't pay attention to the numbers of the game against Salzburg. So from that, again, I started asking questions, and a lot emerged that showed me he isn't really the man. And he has gotten worse because it looks like the pressure is getting to him. But that's, by the way, we overhauled a squad that made it again to every cup final last year with 600 million on 18 new players. Another squad overhaul at this same PlayStation. Yeah, it is not indeed. So that's a delicious comment. I don't think using the term squad overhaul makes any sort of sense. I think we need just, again, about one player maybe, like a central attacking midfielder, because I don't think Felix, as much as I like, he's the best we can do in terms of playing with a 10 right now. I think maybe it can his falter a bit. Maybe he needs competition, even if we need to keep him and play him as a 10. Maybe Nkunku is the man. I don't know. Again, but that's, by the way, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say squad overhaul is necessary right now. It doesn't make any sort of sense if that makes sense to you. But that's, by the way, this one here. Chelsea should sell Havertz and Mount. Both are the reason why we are. Yeah, I get it. Again, what we are, what you said there. We lost again at the Carabao Cup final because of these 2 players missing chances again in big games. And if you're in the chat, if you can please pay attention, align your comments to whatever we're talking about. I get it. Again, wholeheartedly, please do not let's not be everywhere. Did I miss this again? Did I miss it again? Again, we're not Crystal Palace. Chelsea is not the club for managers to cut their teeth. Yep, or to learn again on the job. That's not Chelsea Football Club. So I agree with you. Just again, I don't think we should sell those players. Really, I sack Graham Potter. I wish again it was up to me. I'd do that long before my brother, Chelsea man, will be happy. That man is very again unserious. Maybe again, and his recent comment where he said he hasn't done anything to deserve the time the club has given him, or something to that effect. I think that is simply the truth. So again, we are finished. Yep, we get to that topic in a bit. Todd Bowley is a silly man for sacking Tuchel for Potter. I think he's learning that the hard way right now. And my bro, Bobby Fairview, again, once again, if you're watching, we have a membership. If you haven't, again, if you can afford it, it's $2.99. Again, it will go longer for the channel if you can afford it. Again, Coachella, you probably like Potter's Brighton. You probably liked Potter's Brighton when they played against us. If you examine, if you examine his record, there was again a very ordinary, very indeed, and unfortunately, I didn't pay attention to the record until Ty did. Again, his old club is above us. Yep. Again, we've compared the record here, just as Bobby Fairview decided, and it's abysmal. Again, maybe, and I was all for it. I said maybe if he had a better squad, a couple of players, just as we have at Chelsea, he'd do better. It turns out again, I was wrong. Potter is just a big box of nothing on Christmas morning. Wow, that is some comment. No player is bigger than the club. Get rid of players that don't want to be at Chelsea. We know that. Again, we want to be. Here's the thing: we wanted Ziyech gone. Again, but what happened? I don't know. I wouldn't say it was intentional or not. We wanted the club I learned wanted to sell Christian Pulisic. Yep. And I'm serious. They want us to sell Christian Pulisic, but he's injured. So you cannot transfer an injured player, if that makes sense. A big up coach. Again, Porta has this team in chaos. Again, media-wise, team-wise, game-wise, nothing positive at all. Bali wants a yes man. It's a very simple. No world-class manager is going to want to manage team if that's the case, really. But we're not sure that's the case. Maybe that's the case. It just sounds as if that's the case. Kovacic looks like he's lost his love for the club. You could argue that. Again, he hasn't played with that energy. You see him. Usually when we play again in a passive manner, or again, if it seems as if we're lackluster, once he comes on, he brings an energy. But that hasn't happened for a while now. Probably you could argue down to the manager. Again, him not trusting the manager, because it's not just him. We're seeing that sort of, you could say, body language from other players on the pitch. Maybe Ngolo Kante changes that, because I want my club to do well. It doesn't matter who's in charge. Chilwell should make way for Kukurea and Levi. Levi Colwell isn't left back. He's left centre back. Again, out of Gallagher and Oba, we should sell all those players. It sounds easy. Again, we need footballing people around Bali. Bali cannot do anything alone. Liverpool, for example, they have footballing people. I think he's done that. Again, Duval, I think, needs to get his job done. Bro, Isaac, I want to ask you this quickly. Your thoughts on Chilwell appearing on the list of players that the club wants to let go in the summer. And by the way, first of all, I hope you're doing well. And if you're there, your thoughts, I want to get your thoughts, really.
Yes, brother. How are you?
I'm fine. I can't complain.
Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, about Ben Chilwell,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why the club want to let him go. I really.
But it's not. I don't think the club wants to let again. Yeah, that suggests the club wants to let him go. But go ahead.
Yeah, you know, things start like a rumor, right? And things can get serious by the end. This is how things are. Ben Chilwell is good, for what I see. Very good guy, and he's good than Kukulera. Very good. So I don't understand why we keep hearing rumors like that. For me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and I understand why they are trying to give Levy Cornwell a chance. That's good. That's a good one. But at the same time, Kukulela is not that good at the moment. Maybe later he will become good, but at the moment, I think Ben Chilwell is a little bit good than Kukulela. That's what I
Yeah,
see.
you
Yeah.
could say again, Cucurella, his start to life at Chelsea hasn't been perfect, but I think he's a good player. I think I followed him very well. I know him very well to know he'd come good. I think it takes again. You have to look beyond the surface to understand what he brings to the team. And like I've tried to explain, the problem is with Cucurella is that at the time where the defense doesn't have proper protection, he acts more like a sweeper. He reads again. He actually again, I give him credit. He reads the game very well. That again, when he's with the ball on a good day, he finds passing lanes where you don't think one exists. I
Yeah.
give him credit for that. In the defensive area, watch him what he does. On occasions, you'll see him be the one that saved us from conceding by again correcting Thiago Silva's mistake, even to the right hand side or the right back mistake. He follows the ball that way, and that's probably because again it shouldn't be like that. But we see such errors because we haven't had good sixes again who are capable of protecting the defense. That's how I see it. I think he's a good player. Do I think we should keep Benchwell? I think we should keep him because again he's been quite unlucky. He had a long-term injury, came back, and then had a setback when he was again starting to pick up. When he was starting to show the type of form he showed before he had that long-term injury, he had a setback. I don't think we should consider selling him. It will be a risk. The question is, what do we do about Ian Matson, who you could argue it's a better overall ball playing defender than again Benchwell is, but probably so young. So far this season, I think he has about 8 goals and around 8 assists. I'm not sure if you're in the chat, if you can help us get Ian Matson's again stats this season, that would be good. So again, it doesn't again that begs the question: if we want to bring Matson back, um, yeah, who makes way? Because we can't keep 3 left backs. Uh, the 3 of them are not going to be happy. Matson is good enough that again he has just a few again less than a year left on his contract. I think about something about that. That if we don't extend his contract, there will not be shortage of clubs looking to take him. So we're better off trying to find a way to guarantee him. Okay, you know what? We extend your contract, you come back, and then one of the two we have will make way. Something like that is the only reason I see Martin agrees to come back because young players these days they pay good attention. If they don't see a clear path, they move on. And he's done well on the what's the former Belgian defender that played for Manchester City. What's his name? The central defender. Vincent Company. He's played well under him, so I'm sure Company would want to keep him, especially if they make it to the Premier League. Again, if they get promoted, he can convince him to stay with them if they make it to the Premier League and they sign him on a permanent. But yeah, thank you for that again. Benchwell is a good player, but yeah, it's a situation that's not easy to sort out. Let me get what we have in the chat here. This says again from my brother says. It says again, I think we underestimate the relationship the players had TT. I think we did. People, again, from the way, because of the situation we found ourselves then, people thought he's lost the dressing room,
Yeah.
which I don't think that's the case. And what that again, random decision did to their spirit, then again, add a sacking medics, etc. Again, it's obvious again why Kova is frustrated. Lots of the players we heard didn't like the sacking again of some of again the backroom staff members that they had good relationship with. Again, Isaac, if you want to come in anytime, you go ahead. As I'm getting what we have in the comment here, Lewis Hall is the young English left back. It's not. Is he left back? No, I think it's Lewis Hall. Hall is not a left back.
Louis is a left back. Yeah, he can play as a right back, as a left back.
No. Hall is a midfielder actually.
Yeah, he can play as a midfielder.
Yeah, then I think we're mixing again. Levi Colwell is also a left centre back. Colwell is a loan at Brighton. He's not a left back. Colwell is not a left back. Colwell is a midfielder. The Graham Potter has played in the left wing back position, if that makes sense. And he's able and the application is what you pay attention to. Whenever Lewis Hall plays in the left wing back position, his primary responsibility is to attack, overload the midfield, and overload the attacking area. If you paid attention to the way he played whenever he's deployed there, you don't see him again all the time in the defensive area. So we shouldn't jump again, start saying he's a defender. Lewis Hall isn't a defender, really. No, he's not at all. If that makes sense. Again, small team coaches are not good options. They might have knowledge, but they don't have the necessary charisma. Again, respect. When you say respect, I think of pedigree, because you have to have pedigree to again, for the sort of players we have at Chelsea to listen to you, especially if we still have those that have won more trophies more than the manager in question, it becomes even more difficult. So I agree with you. Like I said, Isaac, if you want to come in anytime, feel free. Chelsea squad needs to fill the shadow of a big name on their heads. Exactly. So when he talks to you, listen. If you don't, he drops you. No sentiment at all. Someone who already has again achievement and experience of working with big teams. Yep, that's what we need to do. What we need to do. This team is not the same without Rudiger. You could argue that we miss him. Again, his personality, again, his leadership qualities and all that. I get it. Again, Thomas Bates, I hope you're doing well. I noticed again, Pulisic wasn't on that list. Yeah, again, I don't know why he isn't on that list. I think he most likely will leave, but that's up to me. Maybe they're trying to keep him because he's more than just a player for the club. His business. Whatever infected Kukurea has gotten Enzo, is now the most dribbled pass player in Europe after we paid 100 million plus for him. And that's not a good record to have. And here's where, again, something I want us to talk about here, Isaac, is this. It doesn't matter who you have in the team. What we have, again, the level, how badly we're playing of late is a situation where even the best player in the world would look bad.
That's very true. It doesn't matter what you have in the team. What matters is the main man on top, the coach. That's the coach name. So if you have players, quality players in your team, if you have a manager who doesn't think properly, who doesn't have tactic, you're gonna be rubbish. Everybody's gonna be rubbish. Good players, they're gonna look like they don't know what they're doing on the pitch. So this board, I don't understand why they were thinking to hire Graham Potter at the first. I was against it.
It looks like we've lost Isaac. Okay, he's back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't understand why they just hire Graham Potter just like that. Just like that. I was against it at the first. I'm like, what are we doing? And I was saying in my videos, if you go way, way back, I hope this job is not big for him. I really hope it's not big for him. We from Frank Rampant, we go to Graham Potter. I was like, this guy has no trophy. He hasn't won a trophy. Maybe he has won a trophies. I don't know. Like there's no trophies in his cabinet, nothing whatsoever. And then we went straight to him. I knew we are not gonna win anything. I knew the very first day I saw that, I was like, wow, what a signing! What a signing! Now we are suffering. We are suffering. This
Yeah,
is
we're suffering indeed, and
yeah,
it doesn't look like it's going to change. And I'll say, go ahead.
yeah.
I'll
So
let you
this,
drop. Then I'll say why I don't think it again. Yeah, I don't think it changes.
so this is not gonna change. We're gonna say the same thing all the time. We're gonna come up here say the same thing all the time. It's not gonna change. The thing here, what we do now, it's to start protesting. That's what the solution is because Porter will play against Leeds and Dortmund. We're gonna lose all those games. He won't do anything. They will not sack him. He will not go anywhere. This is what I say. And to make matters worse, this is just my thinking. I think they're just waiting for us to lose against Borussia Dortmund and Leeds United, and then they're gonna make an excuse that okay, so there is nothing we're fighting for right now because we are out of the Champions League. We lost to Leeds United, so it's better. It's now they're just gonna think okay, we're gonna keep Graham Potter, so there'll be nothing if we don't sack him right now. So this is the
No, if
time.
we get out of the
Yeah,
Champions League mathematically, here's my thinking. What I think will happen if we get knocked out of the Champions League, mathematically, it's still possible to get into top four. So I don't think they will risk it further. Here's the thing: as much
mhm.
as some of us will argue, these guys are not footballing people. I get it. But they have people, they have Christopher Vivell who will tell them if you miss out of the Champions League, look what's going to happen. And I'm quite sure by now that they're well acquainted with the fact that if we miss out of the Champions League, if again, it will be difficult to sign some of those players they're looking at.
Yeah,
Then again, it will hit the club's pocketbook, no matter how they see it. And from what we're hearing, again, if you're in the chat, wherever you are, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've been paying attention, the media tone and what again, even those that tell us what they get, those we feel like they have the insiders with regards to information coming out of the club. Even those people, again, the way they talk now, the tone have changed. The tone isn't all positive for Graham Potter. It's become some again you could say a negative to a consigning measure because they're starting to say he has just 2 games left again to convince the club that they're the man. And then you see statements such as again they still support him, but they want to see a result. That shows you again, yes, again, that shows you it's not all rosy anymore. It's become the tone has changed. And here's something else I want to say. At the point where we're at right now with Graham Potter, the truth remains it would take some miracle for him to be able to change and turn things around. And again, 2 factors I want to mention. One, it looks like the pressure has gotten to him so much that, again, his judgment is impaired. We're talking about him not making the right changes. The last time it was even worse. We conceded goal, and you're bringing in a defensive player. So that's my point. Even if it was good before, because pressure can impair our judgment, no matter how you see it. Pressure brings stress, and stress in turn can impair one's judgment. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing like because again, there are certain situations when you see it on the pitch, you should react immediately. You don't wait until the halftime comes. Exactly. And unfortunately, the man again, he isn't the sort of again, he isn't the most vocal of what the managers we've had before. So and again, even a situation where he needs to be as vocal as ever, he can't because that's not him. And he said it. And he's truthful. He can't fake it. That's not who he is. But that's by the way again. That's a bad record for Enzo Fernandez. I know he's a good player, but that doesn't look good really. Again, especially again, you can say our rivals will batter us to death with that one. This one here says again, starlights of fact. Again, since November, Chelsea has been the lowest scoring team among the 4 top tier again in England. Wow. Wow. That is seriously concerning. A relegation battle is a reality. We're already there. We're already there because here's the thing. Technically, we're already fighting again to survive relegation because if we're fighting not to get into relegation battle, what are we fighting? It's relegation battle.
We are there.
Go ahead.
We are there. We are there. We just need because these games. I think how many games we have? I don't even remember because I'm very confused these days. Very confused about because I don't know how many games we have because we need to win all the games to avoid relegation. From Leeds United up to all the games over there, we need to win. Otherwise, if we don't, we're gonna be in championship.
Yep.
And
we will be.
I don't want it to be like that. This is the worst Chelsea performance since I have never seen.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The 15-16 season, that was a little bit good, but this one is just went to the depth of hell. It is crazy. It is crazy. It is so hard to watch Chelsea right now. Very hard. So and I stopped now blaming. Oh, I stopped talking about Porter very much. I'm talking about the owner, what they are thinking about the situation. And I said this area when I was doing a video. I was like, Chelsea Football Club, the way we function, the team and everything, the structure, the foundation. This owner, they came in this Chelsea team. They found the foundation is already there, right? So for them to start changing stuff so quickly, they did it quickly. It's not good. It's not good. We know, yes, they're the owner, they bought the club, blah, blah, all this stuff. That's changing stuff slow. You're going slow, not just to change everything. And this is how now we're this mess. We sacked Thomas Tuchel. We went straight to Graham Potter. For what? Now, they have come down to look for a better. And I saw some comments people commenting there. It's
Mhm.
everybody can say they want they want a man yes back all the time, right? So
Yeah. I think
don't get
Isaac. I think your connection is breaking up a bit. Maybe you need to go out and come back in.
oh okay yeah
Yeah. And again, if you're in the chat, again, I will share the link to the panel in a bit. But it will be only two panelists at the time. And again, and if you're not part of the group and you're joining from outside there, I need to see you on camera before I allow you in. Again, Sean, big up the New York guy. Nice to see you. And my brother here confirming Lewis Hall is a midfielder. Yep, he's not a defender. And whenever you see Graham Potter deploy him in the wing back position, again, the application is what you have to pay attention to. Whenever he's deployed in the wing back position, he is tasked with again overloading the midfield and the attacking area. And if you see the way again he applies himself, you'd know really again he's not deployed in that position to be a defender. Potter was a pick higher again from the start. Yep, again Cobra, your avatar scares the heck out of me, man. But more importantly, I hope you're doing well, Cobra. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Wow, I didn't know that then he's a box to box too. Who's box to box? Who's box to box? No, I wouldn't say. If you're talking about Lewis, so I wouldn't say he's box to box. No. But that's by the way again. Bobby Ferguson again. We have appointed the Brighton and Salzburg director. Why is it a surprise again that we would hire Potter again? A small club mentality. I think to be fair, Potter was hired before Vivell was hired, and Vivell. I think here's the thing. Vivell again is a fine again. I think he'll get the job done for us. And we're getting rumors. Seeing messages that Vivell is actually concerned with Graham Potter's ability to be the one to lead us forward. If that makes sense. Keshawn here says, "I'm not worried about relegation. To be honest, no way. Cannot even put my mind on it. That's how it happens. That's how you been. If you don't, again, here's the thing. If we go into games, the remainder of the games in the season without bearing in mind there's a possibility that we find ourselves fighting for our lives, fighting to stay in the Premier League, then it's a risk. But if we go into games, the remainder of the games, if you're in the chat, can you help me find out how many games do we have left? If we go into games with a mindset that we can actually find ourselves in a relegation battle, then we're better off. Then we will do better. Again, if you get again, you don't want the players to just see it the way you're seeing it. If that makes sense. Even I used to say, I don't think that's going to happen, but I've changed my mind because I've realized it's actually a huge, huge risk to start thinking that, again, there's no chance we find ourselves in a relegation battle. It can happen, really. And the truth remains, we don't actually have if you look at the squad, there's a type of, when you're in a relegation battle, there's a type of squad you need to have, if that makes sense. But that's, by the way, again, that's why if you say, I said, let's hire Sam Allardyce, Big Sam, as the caretaker manager, I think he'd take the job and make sure we stay up. And probably he'll do better because he gets a chance to keep that. At least he has experience. If that to bring the best out of players, if that makes sense. Again, please start putting your mind on it. Hopefully the players don't start thinking the way you're thinking. If you're watching, people, thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. We have 34 likes already. Let's get it to 50 and let's shoot for 100 before the show ends. So thank you so much for all the support. And remember, we have a membership. I think I'll find a way to share the membership link so that if you want to join, you can join, support the channel, and help us again reach again what we have to have available to support students monthly, like again we plan. If that makes sense. And again, my friend here, Rico 63, big up Rico. Rico, I'm sure again you've already subscribed to our other channel called In Soccer Perspective. There, we will be talking about again all football clubs. And if you want to be part of the discussion, if you want to be a panelist there, you let me know, and again I will welcome you very well. Always nice to see you. Again, give this man 5 more games, and our 12 million man again will make Enzo unrecognizable. Yep, again, it would seem like again a stupid signing and not down to the player, but because the team overall isn't playing well. Selling Kovacic and Chilwell to Man City would be a costly mistake. Why to strengthen Man City even more? But again, I wouldn't sell Kovacic to them, and I'd still keep Kovacic at the club Because here's the thing: if anything, Kovacic and Enzo are like for like. Again, Kova is the better dribble of the two. If anything, Enzo is more again a solid again defensively than Kovacic is. But I think those two should actually be rotating players. I hope they come to realize that as soon as possible. We need again a scoring mindset. We do need a scoring mindset, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. Again, we cannot score to save our lives. Unfortunately, that's the truth. What else we have here? Kishan, again, they're just having a conversation. And Logitech, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. That means a lot to me. Let's see. Something else I wanted to share here. Do I even have it open? Give me 1 second. Some news here. I think it's not that one. It is this one. Let me see this one here again. It's a surprise to me. That's Raheem Sterling. It says again. I understand that Raheem Sterling is another player considering his Chelsea future this summer and may well seek a move away already. Sterling hasn't become fully happy and content again and content at Chelsea since and content. Okay, not content and content at Chelsea since his move from Manchester City. Yeah, I'm not surprised at that. Again, he hasn't done well. Again, even before we signed Graham Potter, he was in such he was in such poor form that again you'd be concerned. Again, I'd be concerned if I was him and consider leaving maybe to find my feet again. But again, you can say it got worse under Graham Potter, really, and that's the truth. But again, I hope again. I wouldn't say I want him to leave now because we need all the players that we can have, and he's the most experienced on his day. You can say he makes good runs, and one thing you always get from him is the run in behind again a high defensive line and also good positioning in the box. As much as I have questions with regards to his first touch, I'd just say again I don't want him to leave right now. Chelsea Blue coach again. I understand what Bali is doing. People are overreacting. The only thing again he got wrong was the manager. Everything else again is good. Yes, now fans again will be questioning Kova. He offers a no goals, no assists. Again, the way we play him, how many goals and how many assists do you expect from him? So again, if we decide to sell him, as long as we bring in someone else who's capable of again, ensuring that we play no matter how oppositions again press, how aggressively oppositions press us, or no matter how many players you have from him. Because Kova is the only players we play if we find ourselves again in such situations in a situation where the opposition defend deep. If that makes sense. Again, Havertz shouldn't be up top. He shouldn't. He's not a number 9. He said that. Hello to you too, Chama. Again, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that so much. Koulibaly has been good. I never doubted Koulibaly. Even when people were complaining, I think they were just scapegoating him at the time where if we paid attention, would see really what again, because our defense, again, our defenders were exposed severally. So the mistake is again in those situations, again, where a certainty. So when it happens, people don't look at things from its root cause, but they jump to conclusions saying Koulibaly wasn't good enough. But he's shown on occasions that he's good and that can actually lead the back line. The goal scoring dilemma is not surprising. Simple. Look up again Potter's Brighton scoring record. Yep, it makes sense. They've actually scored more than us this season. But again, when he was the coach, I think he measures really. Potter is a nightmare. All ends up again. Yep. Coach, again, these players are getting annoying now. Potter really, again, has to go. We need, again, a military mind leading, again, the club. Maybe that will be a good solution. Manager was a huge error, but also the contract. And Isaac, again, as I'm talking, really getting what we have in the comment now, please, if you get a chance, share the link to your channel in the chat so that, again, people can go check it out. I'll highlight it and talk about it when I get to it. Can you hear me, Isaac? I think you're frozen. Okay, share the link to your channel again in the chat when you get a chance, and when I get to it, I'll talk about it.
All right. Yeah, I'm just having some difficulties with my connection, but I'm getting there.
It sounds again, it's excellent now. It's crystal clear right now. Let's see what else we have here. Pochettino should be interim. I don't think Pochettino would take the job on an interim basis. Maybe if you guarantee him that if he does well, then he keeps it. He keeps it for a long time, like 3 years at least. And I don't see the owners offering any manager more than 3 year contract now. I think they've learned again a valuable lesson from this situation, even if he ends up walking out, because they still look back and say, yeah, again, that was a mistake. It's really frustrating to know that all our problems right now are again self-inflicted. Indeed, we're self-destructing. If that makes sense. Valley, nice to see you again. Kovacic isn't keen on Potter. Yep, I think that's a better way to see it. He doesn't trust the manager. He isn't keen on Potter. Tactical again, shambles. Hence why he is so off. You can see his body language again on the pitch. He doesn't believe in Potter. I cannot blame him. I think that's a legit argument, really. That's a legitimate argument. And the Undertaker CFC, nice to see you, brother. He won't be the only player that will want to go because of Potter. So sack Potter now. A lot of them would want to. Even the new players will start questioning him at one point if results don't change soon. Koulibaly is one of the best in the world right now. A lot of people don't know that. Again, we see things. Again, unfortunately, most people that watch football only see things on the surface level. They were quick to jump to saying Koulibaly again is a flop or not doing well and all that. Chelsea, Chelsea have signed some great defenders, Koulibaly, Badiashile, and Fofana. Unfortunately, Badiashile won't be playing in the Champions League for us, and that hurts. Reason Potter should go now is, again, the Dortmund game is winnable. Yeah, he's done well. You could argue overall his record in the Champions League isn't bad. Maybe they still believe he could turn things around. But that's, by the way, Kovacic wanted to leave since the World Cup. Yep, you could argue that. Again, big up, Coach. Again, nice to see you. Again, I hope you are doing well. Thank you. I'm doing well, my brother, and much love. Pay attention. We have the membership. We have membership. If you want to join, if you can afford it, only if you can afford it. If you join, it will go a long way for the channel, and it's $2.99 per month. Thank you so much again. Isaac, you have anything to say with regards to the Kovacic situation? What do you think? Again, Raheem Sterling, so to speak. What do you think? Should we consider selling him? I think we should, because we're actually loaded in that area right now, and that is if he wants to leave. But if he once again, if that's not the case, I think we should keep him. His experience will go along. You go ahead.
Yeah, about Raheem Sterling, it's very tough, I have to say. He won't accept to be on the bench and coming out there, and he won't accept that. He will want him. So for what I see about Raheem Sterling, let me just say, Modric is a good player. Modric. So if a good manager comes in, Modric will turn into Hazard, for what I see. So at this point, the coach we have doesn't know how to use these players. It's not getting anything from them. So if we have a good manager, those new players, they'll start thriving. They'll start moving forward.
Yep.
I think that's when I can sell Sterling, because right now, Sterling, when he comes in, he looks running, right? It looks very good. So to sell him at this time, I don't think so. Because that's just what I feel. Other people, they'll feel different. So that's just my feeling right now. The main thing here is just to change the manager. That's the main thing. We have to do that. If we did this week before the Champions League, it'll be very nice. Because there's a chance we can, if we change the manager, we go in the Champions League, there's a chance we win that Dortmund game.
But you could also argue there's a chance also if you let them continue, because no matter how you see how, again, even if you bring up the argument that the Milan game again was winnable because they had a lot of players out, there's a chance also that say maybe he's a good luck charm in the Champions League. Maybe he'd be able to turn things around there. That's a solid argument on its own. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah. As I say, there's a chance. So if the owner, they want to win something, this is a chance. This is what Chelsea does. We have seen it in the past. We sack the manager and we go win the Champions League. Other people, they are thinking we'll win the Champions League with Potter. I'm serious. I saw that this morning. I was just like, okay. I didn't disrespect their opinion. It's okay. That is their opinion, and that's what they
But
feel.
never say never.
Yeah, you never say never. You never know what's tomorrow. So I respect that, people saying that. But for me, what I see, man, it hurts. It hurts inside. It hurts. We need a change very quickly, very quickly. And I really hope the owner sees this. Everyone understands the situation. They understand what's going on. Just the owner,
Mm-hmm.
they need to do this, to make something, So yeah.
Yeah, sorry for showing you guys blank screen in there. I was trying to open a particular window. Here's the thing. Again, the situation. Something I want us to talk about quickly before I catch again a few of what we have in the chat. The situation has gotten to a stage. Even if Potter was the man,
Yeah.
right now the situation again has made him not to be the man. Has made him not to be the man. In what sense? Because where it is right now, again, that's my opinion. From what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like, and it's just not me. It's not just me. I think a lot of people are saying that, and there are also reports, although there's no way to confirm those reports, that the players are starting to question the manager's ability again, the tactical ability,
Oh,
which is which I've been saying again. If you're leading again a crop of players, or if you're leading an organization and you're leading them, and those you're leading are now seeing results, it's only natural that they start questioning what you're doing as a leader and will not even listen to you anymore. So where it has gotten to a stage, even if he was the man, even if he is good enough, it has gotten to a stage that him turning things around is very, very difficult.
it's very
It
difficult.
would take some miracle
That
for
is,
that to happen.
yeah.
Because if you look at the situation, you can't say this is Graham Potter's preferred 11. You cannot say that. Plus, this is Graham Potter's preferred tactics. You can't say that. It's everywhere. And that's why you see the players get confused. And it doesn't look like he's able to motivate them.
No.
On several occasions now, we've seen a situation where once we go a goal down, the manager himself, again, sulks, the players sulks. Again, where will the motivation come from? It's not going to come from heaven if the manager is not able to talk to the players again, ginger them, say, come on, keep playing. It's just a goal down. You don't see such thing. Sometimes you ask yourself, what does he tell them during the half? It just looks as if after the half things get worse for us, and that's concerning.
It looks like it's true. It looks like when they go on halftime, it looks like they just go there. You just tell them, "Oh, guys, yeah, it's time to rest. Oh, yeah, let's do this now. Okay, yeah, okay, let's go now. It's time to go." It looks like you tell them like that because there's no way you go to the halftime, you come back playing worse than the first half. The Tottenham
Mm-hmm.
game. The second half is just worst performance. I was like fuming. I'm like, what is going on? It looks like they went to sleep, on the 15 minutes break or 20 minutes. It looks like they went to sleep and they just came in like like they went to another planet and they came back and they found everything is, it's very hard to say. It is very hard to say.
Yeah,
So
indeed, it is. It is. And again,
very hard.
if you're asking the question of what is the daily roundup show, the daily roundup show, what we do is look at everything that has happened during the day. That's a line again that concerns our club at Chelsea. We dump them into a single bucket and then present it to you in a concise manner. And then, so if you were at work or at school and you missed them, then again, don't miss the daily roundup show. It is a daily show, by the way, just like as the name implies. Do you think, again, Levi Colwell has a chance at Chelsea? I think he has a chance at Chelsea, and I'll tell you why in a bit. I don't want to give away. It's one of the topics we have lined up, and I have to move quickly because very soon I have to leave to go pick up my son. Maybe the show should be starting 1 hour earlier. Coach, again, question. If you don't like young managers for your job, you believe, again, you still have to do your job, again, these are players that need to man up. And no, again, here's the thing. The whole thing comes down to result. The whole thing is about result. Again, if you don't get results, they will stop trusting you. They trusted him. They all looked happy under him when we were winning games. But again, you can see their body languages on the pitch again have changed. The moment again we started seeing bad results, you can see again even games that are winnable, you see them coming to it like moving like as if to say, it's another day, maybe another loss or something like that. It's not about the age of the manager. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's not about the age. We're seeing young managers do well. Even the current Bayern Munich manager, he's done well. Again, he did well at Dortmund before he joined Bayern. Thomas Tuchel was young and very young at Mainz. He was young at Dortmund. He was still young again at PSG. FBB, when he won again the Portuguese league unbeaten, he was so young then. So again, it's not about the age; it's about results. And when you don't get results, players will start questioning your ability as the leader. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much again. I appreciate the quick growth that I'm seeing from the daily roundup show. It's really growing faster, even faster than the Blue Money show grew. So thank you so much again for that contribution there. Let's see again. This dude looks like Apollo Creed. I think he's talking about you. But that's by the way. We move on. Honestly, this squad can win the Champions League. Really should have gotten rid of him and had a good run. Well, again, I'm not sure. There's no telling what they're going to do right now. They're very unpredictable, just as unpredictable as Graham Potter himself. Thiago Silva, again, we'll talk about that in a bit. Hello, coach. Again, greetings from Jibril. I think that's Jibril Keita. Again, Chelsea will be back again. We are in our difficult moments, but we surely going to be back. That's for sure. The question is, what I want to know. Let it not get too bad for us before, again, we come back. Again, if that makes anything. And if that makes sense to you, if you're not a moderator, avoid using all caps. Nightbot is a machine. It's not a human being. It will, again, time you out or delete your messages. These players also have a duty to stay fit. Yep. Put in the extra shift or effort, again, to stay fit and all that. Thank you so much for saying that. Again, Ashma. Again, nice to see you, Hashma. Okay, nice to see you. Your name sounds like a rhyme. But Potter is not Chelsea. Between being a good coach and being a good tactician, if that makes sense. Yep, Roman again would have never signed Potter, even if he signed him, decided to give him a chance. I don't think it would have lasted until now. If that again makes sense. Again, good channel. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you saying that again. That means a lot to me. Let's get into the topics we have lined up. Isaac, you have anything to say before we go?
Yeah,
we go to the topics.
I was reading the comment there. Like this player, they have.
Oh, okay.
They have a duty to. What did he say? This player, they have.
Let me find again. It says this one. You're talking about this particular comment here from Chelsea Blue. It says again, these players also have a duty to stay fit.
Yeah.
Put in the extra effort. But they are not even trying again, at least, and again, and let it not work again. Okay, they are not trying, let alone again. We're arguing that it doesn't work. But to immediately not try and fight is annoying. I think it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this before. But you go ahead.
They are getting time off for the first time in history.
I nearly spit out my coffee because I knew that was gonna come up. Because what the heck? You work harder when you find yourself in such situation, and they're getting time off, and they got time off today again.
They're getting time off, yeah.
I just don't understand what is going on. But go ahead with what you're saying, Isaac.
Yeah, they won't get fit. They won't. They're getting time off. I have never seen that in the Chelsea.
Go ahead. Let me just pour myself more coffee quickly. Go ahead.
I have never seen that in the Chelsea history, man. Getting the time off all the time. It is crazy. It's crazy. And that's not how you get the players to football. That's not how you get success. That is just stupidity for what I understand. That is stupid.
It doesn't make any sort of sense.
It doesn't make sense. As a manager, you give players to rest. You have the game ahead. Because this is the time it needs to get all the guys to stay together, to start training all the time. If you give them a time off, some of them, they'll go drink, some of them they'll go to have a party, and they'll come so heavy. That's why they lost against Tottenham, because they had a day off, I remember. So they came like heavy. Some of them, they're not performing properly. You won't get the best out of players if you're giving the players off days, like three, four like that. It's not Doesn't make sense. So he lost all the fans. The fans, they are not trusting him. Excuse me, they are not trusting him for that reason. So this guy is just something else I've never seen in a Chelsea history. It's crazy, crazy. Give them the time off.
Again, it just doesn't make any sort of sense. No matter how you try to spin it and explain
Yeah, I
it,
was.
it doesn't make a sense. Like the other day, we had Mario Minto, my friend and brother, again, a friend of the channel too. He argued again. It turns out that the break was really for Graham Potter, not for the
Yeah,
players. He needed it because again, he's not dealing with the pressure very well. He's not dealing with it. He's become very defensive. If you look at him, his demeanor shows you. It's again the situation isn't healthy for him, and I feel for him from a human perspective, really. Again, because he's a human first of all, and that's why I don't go to the extent of calling him names and all that. Graham Potter is not personally disliked by any of the players. Yep, yep. Again, Olo Wakere, again, Amos, my Niger brother. Thank you and nice seeing you here. I hope you're doing well. And he says again, disliked by any of the players. There are, however, some doubts over whether again whether longer term again he is capable of tactically competing with Pep Guardiola and club as Toko did. I don't think he is. If I were to answer that question for you, I don't think he's capable of again competing with those people. If that makes sense. Again, but that's me. That's a beautiful dog. Is that a Chihuahua?
he's a poodle.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Very hairy. Again, Aloha again, Amos again, that is correct. Again, he's liked by the players, but again, likability is a different thing. I'd rather we have a manager that the players fear, which is a risk on its own. But again, given the situation we find ourselves, I'd rather us have a manager who the players fear than a manager who they like but don't respect.
yeah.
Because that's the truth. You may well like somebody and not respect them. If that makes sense to you. This is again, hopefully, will again be again history soon. We will be history soon. Okay, no, please. Again, Valley says again, may as well again give our players off until the end of the season. Yeah, don't play.
That's
That's again. You might as well do that.
yeah.
Again, why give them just a few days break? If you want to give them a break, make sure you give them again. Let them go take vacation. Let the under 23s or the under 20 youth team come play the senior games for us again. I think it will work if that makes sense. Let's see what we have here. Let's look at the topics we have lined up here. This one we've talked about Ngolo Kante again. The Frenchman who arrived at Chelsea in 2016 should extend. Have we talked about that already? Correct me, have we?
Uh,
Okay.
um,
Okay. Again, the Frenchman who arrived at Chelsea in 2016 should extend his contract until June 2027 or 2026 plus a year add-on. Again, an optional last year. Okay, that makes sense. Again, last details to settle before the official signing or official announcement. To me, this feels like the best signing. If he ends up staying, N'Golo Kante, to me, again, there's no signing that will measure. You can say his importance to this Chelsea team, his importance to us, how important he's been to us, and how important he's been to the national team. You can say again is the reason why it started looking as if he's injury prone because the cases are once the slightest he recovers, we pull him back into the fold. And the French national team also, Didier Deschamps, he does the same thing. The slightest Kante recovers and his feet again, he just pulls him back into the fold again because he's so important to them and important to us. We don't give him time to recover fully. And that's why, again, when people were talking, that's a chance he plays against Dortmund, I was going, no, 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 please don't do that. Just let him recover fully. We don't
yeah,
want to risk it because he makes a huge difference the moment he starts playing again. Your thoughts on that one?
yeah. You don't want to risk Ngolo Kante. Just
Mhm.
this is the guy who changed everything in the midfield. You put you put Kante in the midfield. Looks like there is 3-4 midfield of Kante in the same.
Mhm.
So it's good it's coming back, and maybe it's gonna change a little bit, in the midfield.
Mhm.
It's Kante is Kante, and I'm so happy he's signing the contract at Chelsea. It's very good.
Yep.
And if
Yep.
you look. Kante is one of those players. They're just like, okay, you wanna lower my salary? Okay, I'll accept it. He loves Chelsea. He loves Chelsea. It's not gonna go anywhere. He said that. So it is good. It is good for us. You know?
He solves a big problem for us. First of all,
Yeah.
we have tried nearly again. I wouldn't say everything. We've tried a lot with Enzo. The pairing of
Yeah.
Enzo again, Kovacic, Enzo, Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
Yeah.
Enzo, who again, Zakaria. Kestin, and again, of all those people we've tried him again, we've tried pairing with Enzo. None of them again are good at reading the game, let alone again being the more disciplined of the two sixes. Why Enzo becomes again for to allow Enzo the independence to be more adventurous. None of them are. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he can't even read the game, let alone again read it so well to again to break up the opposition play because traditionally he's not a deep line midfielder. You
Yeah.
say the same again. Kovacic, what he's capable of doing is fulfilling what I think we signed Enzo for, a hybrid of 8 and 6, which again, if we look at the situation really, look at Enzo the way he plays and look at the way Kovacic will play, they don't differ that much, except that Enzo is more defensively solid than Kovacic. Again, they're both players who likes to operate deep from the midfield, but more again, they have an eyes to attack. Again, the more you look at it, the more you realize it just it's even more like a mistake selling Jorginho. Again, yeah, because he would have made a good pairing with Enzo. As much again, I don't think Jorginho is the quickest. I don't think he's the most physical, but at least he can read the game so well, and in most cases, be at the right place at the right time to break up opposition play. So, but that's by the way, my point is Kante will be the man to help us bring out the best at Enzo. Because of
Oh,
all the pairing, again, with all the people we paired him with, is always the one asked to be more disciplined. Again, which is in his game. He needs to be free. He needs to be have that independence and to be more adventurous again than his pairing. So no surprise that he's broken the record as the player that opposition players have driven past most in most. That's a bad record to have. But that's by the way. So I'm looking forward to having Kante back. I think you can't argue that the owners probably they've come to terms that they need him. We need experience. We need balance. Again, we're in a transition period, but we shouldn't change every player. And if Kante leaves, we will struggle for a long time before we find a solution for that midfield area. So again, I'm happy they kept him because if you look at his record since he joined us, there's hardly a trophy that we've won at Chelsea that you can say he wasn't pivotal to us winning it. I don't know if you have anything else to add to that. Again, the Kante talk before we move on.
yeah. Just the Enzo and Kovacic where you mentioned there.
Mhm,
Those players are good, are very good. So
mhm.
it's just the tactic of the manager, the way he's using them. That's the main reason we have seen in the past when before.
In that case, you could argue circumstances. Again,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say he's used them in a bad way. Circumstances in the sense Enzo needs to play with the traditional DM, so he has the freedom or the independence to be more adventurous. But go ahead.
yeah. So that's true. That's very true. What you're saying, yeah, it's very true. But the way I see it in another way, it's just the tactic of the manager in the midfield. If we get a good manager, you see, they Kovacic and Enzo Fernandez, they'll become very, very good. We'll see something we have never seen before if the good manager who knows
Hmm.
how to use the midfield, like Jose, for example. I know a lot of people they will say, "Nah, you want Jose to come back." At this point, I will say we are struggling. So if we have a good manager, those midfield we have, they'll look like prime Real Madrid. You'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised how these guys, how good they are not responding. This is how things are right at the moment. They don't respond to a manager. They don't listen to a manager. Some of them they have they have day offs. um, we did not see who is these people. We did not see at the Tottenham game. I don't think was on the bench. And the other lads were not on the bench. We did not see them.
Hmm.
out that they are not happy. That's the rumor came out. They are not happy how things are, blah, blah, blah.
Mount also again beyond again the issue was saying won't be all happy that he's not starting games
Yeah,
because he hasn't started again a few games. Four, I think four out of four games he started just one, didn't he? But go ahead with what you were saying so we can catch up and call it a day soon. I need to go pick up my boy. But go ahead.
okay. I think about Mason Mount in he just need to keep quiet. Mount need just to calm down and just humble yourself, if not performing right, and if you keep saying I'm not, Mount has been playing all the games, right? He's been playing so much games.
No, he's missed again out of four games. I think he's missed three. He's dropped again three times. But out of those three games, he came off the bench to join the fray. But yeah,
But if he's
yeah,
complaining,
surprisingly, Potter has benched him three times now.
that is very surprising if he's complaining
Yeah.
that, because the guy has been playing after game after game. So for him just to complain, that's very serious. So for him right now, he just need to improve his game time, to be honest.
Mhm.
His game time, and just keep quiet like everybody else. Like Keeper is a Baraga. Keeper is very quiet. So just learn from Keeper and learn from who? I think Aubameyang too doesn't talk much. Maybe when he was at Arsenal, Barcelona, but at Chelsea, I don't see him talking too much. So Mount, keep quiet, keep working hard, so you get better again. Last season and the other season, he was good, very good. This time, everything went into the water.
Yep.
So for him, just
Yep.
keep working. Yeah.
Yep. Let me catch up here again. It says again, Valley says, music says, will Kante be back soon? I'm not sure how soon. Again, the rumors are that the talks are that he'll be back mid March. Let's see what happens. Kante again, what March starts tomorrow, right? Again, so yeah, Kante needs to provide again his needs to prove his fit. The question is again, has he been training with the group? I really don't know. I think how good again France depth is. No Kante, Pogba, Benzema, and all this and lose the World Cup final on penalties. Yep, again they have a lot again a huge again you can say a crop of players to pick from. Kante is again a farm settled in London, so that's an option too. Chikweme cannot playing him is another against a Porter. And sometimes again, I think during the last game he wasn't even on the bench. So we're not sure again. But again, press conference these days don't give you much to work with. Nobody asked him the question why Chukwemeka isn't in the squad, so we can get whether he's ill or not. Not sure. Again, like I said, I'm not sure about his case, but we'll wait to see. What do we have here? Mount again, sell him. It's up to the club. Again, selling him, it won't be easy. And also giving him a contract won't be easy either. So we just want to see what happens. Zakaria can be that DM, but Enzo is not as penetrating as Kovacic. You can argue Kova is a better dribbler. So that's a very, very important observation. But as Enzo can stop defending from the front line, Enzo can get you more goals than Kovacic and probably the better creator of the two. But I don't think starting them both makes sense. I thought it will work, but I paid attention to it. They don't differ that much. One is a better dribbler. One can progress the ball no matter the situation. The other is the more defensively solid and can get you goals and can create more chances than the other one, if that makes sense. Let's look at what we have here. This uncle right here, this friend of you guys there in the chat, Romelu Lukaku dreams of playing for Real Madrid. And this is a tweet from my bro and friend, DJ Saab. So DJ, thank you so much again for sharing this. He dreams of playing for Real Madrid. Here's the thing, as much as it's laughable, it's possible. If they can get him on a chip, I think they'd come for him. That's the thing. If they can get him on very, very, very cheap, they can again. They will come for him. Because he can at least he can bully people at least. When maybe he can get goals also on a counter. I don't know, but it's seriously laughable. But again, of late, I don't see the form that will make Madrid want to say, you know what, can say we're gonna come get this guy, if that makes sense. So people, thank you so much again. If you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Good luck to Lukaku. I hope he goes to Real Madrid. Again, I cannot keep dreaming. Yeah, you're allowed to dream, if that makes sense. And Eugene, no, Eugene, no, big up to you, Eugene. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much again for finding the time to join the show. Unfortunately, again, yeah, soon we'll be ending soon, again, in about 11 minutes or so. I'm not sure, because we have topics to cover here. Graham Potter, again, new car soon. Again, Ferrari, because he's going to get a lot of money. Sorry again. Yeah, I know you're new here, so you don't know. Take care, all, if you're leaving. See you next time, brother. Again, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Please do make sure you subscribe. Good chat. I have sub. Thank you, bro. Much love to you. See you. We have the Blue Morning Show and also the daily roundup show. I think, again, I know you enjoyed it, and I know you'll be back soon. I have a dream of being on what? And see, what do you mean? Mario Mintu. Big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. And I forgot to ask you again. The last time we talked again, we spoke again a few days ago, yesterday. But the last time, even before Christmas, we thought you had the C word. I hope you recovered fully for it again. Sorry, I didn't ask. My bad. I have no way to reach out to you to know again how you recovered. I have a dream of being on the panel one day. Oh yeah, I want to see you. Come speak your mind. Again, I'd really love to see that happen. And if you're on Twitter, reach out. Again, I will add you to the panelist group. Again, I appreciate that. Sorry for late. I watched Yellowstone.
It's a good.
Yeah, it's a good show, by the way. But here's the thing. It's not an obligation. It's only a show. But again, you know I love you, and I love reading your comments in the chat. Yeah, again, I have not recovered from. Oh, sorry to hear that again. Okay, from Chelsea. Yeah, again, he's turned it again. I get it again, but I get what you mean by that again. But that's, by the way, big up, bro. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. We have a few minutes to round up. We've talked about Kante here. The second topic we have here. This says again Chelsea's statement. This is heartbreaking, really. I don't like this at all. It scares the heck out of me. Chelsea's statement on Thiago Silva. Chelsea have confirmed that he has sustained a knee injury, underwent a further assessment and scan, confirmed again damage to Thiago Silva's knee ligament. Thiago will be out for almost 5 to 6 weeks. He will try to return as soon as possible. Yeah, again, I get it. We're in trouble. We are in serious trouble because our situation and Potter's situation, it gets worse without him because he's a leader, the sort of leader that doesn't even need to talk much to lead. He leads by the way he plays. He controls the way we play, even from deep the defensive line. That's how good this man has been to us. And unfortunately, he's injured. Again, I know we have capable players. Wesley Fofana has showed, again, he's good on the ball and can find solution in tight spaces, even in the defensive line. He doesn't, again, opt for, again, the option to put the ball forward. In most cases, he makes sure we keep the ball. But the Sheila, unfortunately, is, again, he's not going to play for us in the Champions League. He's also one cool-headed player. I'd argue he's the most equipped to take on that Thiago Silva mantle whenever he leaves Chelsea or hangs his boot. But I'm concerned. I think the situation is worse for us right now, given his leadership. I'm not, again, what's his name? Wesley Fofana, Trevor Chalobah, and Badeshile are all capable of coming in. But your thoughts, so that I can bring in Bobby, since we're only allowed. Your thoughts on this one, Bobby? Just give me 1 minute. I'll bring you in. Your thoughts on this one, so that I can bring in Bobby, get his thoughts before we go.
About Thiago Silva and
his absence. Bobby, just give me 1 minute. I'll bring you in.
His absence is it's worried, very worried. But Fofana looks much better when he came in against Tottenham. Looks good. I think I'm saying this. I'm forgetting we have a bad manager that tactically you won't even see that. If we were like a good manager, we won't even worry about it. Because Wesley Fofana looks good when he came in. So I'm worried because Thiago Silva is gone. He's like man of the match every game. He put up a good performance every game. So we'll see. I won't say much. I don't know what's going to happen.
But it makes it even more difficult to have hopes of us winning any games further. Here's what I'm going to say, Isaac. Again, what we're going to do, you and I need to sit and talk so I can get your credential the way you want me to be adding it. So whatever you appear on the panel, I can add your credential to it because you have a channel more importantly. So missing it, it's not going to be okay. So thank you so much. I hope to can have you on the panel again whenever you have time. And you should host a live stream so that we can bring the gang over to your end.
Yeah,
Thank you. Much love, brother. I appreciate that. Let me bring Bobby in right now.
I'll see you very soon, my brother.
Thank you. Mhm. Big up to you, Bobby. How are you doing? I appreciate you finding time to join. I told you I was going to make exception for you because you're an OG here, and again, how you've helped the channel grow. Again, I never forget that. But more importantly, how are you doing? We have again about 10 minutes or so to round up, but I think I can get a lot from you in 10 minutes.
Big up, coach.
Big up,
Much
brother.
appreciated. Much appreciated. I just thought I'd pop in. I heard a little bit about concerns with the absence of Thiago Silva.
Hmm.
I mean, look, really, this is just symptomatic, isn't it? I mean, we all know the truth.
Hmm.
Everybody and his dog knows that the ownership have made a mistake with this manager. I can't see how he'll turn it around. I'm hoping and praying he'll turn it around. We have seen miracles happen, but with this guy, that's exactly what it's going to be, a miraculous change, honestly, because he's just not up to it. If you can't get a tune out of that team, the problem is with you, really. Thiago Silva or not, Wesley Fofana's back, Chalabar's there, Badia Shields there, Koulibaly's there. Really,
Hmm.
really, he has to. Leeds have played a game today. I don't know whether they went into extra time or what. They played the FA Cup, so that's a game they've played. Um, if he, I mean, what excuse now? What further excuse? Well, we're using Thiago Silva as an excuse for him now.
No, but
I mean,
it's not about making excuses for him. We're
no,
just seeing
I
things
know, I know. I'm
from
just
again
saying
from his
the
importance
story.
to the team. I think it gets worse for Potter because you could argue in his when he's present, Thiago Silva, even if Potter isn't doing well, his experience and the way he's able to control the way we play from the back line does go a long way, even if one doesn't like Graham Potter or anything. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, absolutely. I mean, he is an immaculate player. He really is, and he adds to the quality of the team. But any manager worth his salt can perform without him, with this team. Even in the Champions League, there's still Wesley, there's still Chalabar, there's still um, Koulibaly, all of which are very good defenders. They just have to be used properly. I've run out of sympathy for Graham Potter. He's had a whole week now. What has he done? I think he gave the players a day off
Yeah,
again
what's
today.
with that?
Well, that's his way. Okay, fine, they've had the day off. What and then they show all these clips of training. I don't see what's going on in training. I'm not sure, what is there? What translates to the pitch? What are they up to? Then he starts saying, "Oh, we've got too many players. It's affecting training." Really? That's all BS.
Yeah, he
Absolute
never said
total.
that until going downhill again. He's become so
Yeah,
defensive. It's not funny. But go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, absolute, total, and complete BS. If he's got too many players, then he keeps the ones he's going to use and shelves the ones he's not going to use. We know the ones that are going to leave in the summer, then they
Mhm.
can't be used. Someone like Ziyech, who he's put in the Champions League team, has to be used. As so I'm not buying any of it. I'm not buying any of it. Leeds have played an extra game now. Let's see. Let's see. He has no excuses anymore, and he's put himself in this corner by losing to teams like Southampton at home and making some silly decisions. He's put himself in this corner.
So if they're saying he has two games to turn things around, because the truth remains, the narrative in the media, or again the talks of his future, it has changed a bit. I think again, but because I haven't heard you speak of that, I think it's whatever we're hearing right now. It's a reflective of the fact that the owners again, they're concerned. Even I think they're even more concerned again than the fans. It's just because again, it's going to be an expensive decision to say, you know what, we're sacking you. Just give me 1 second. I'll come back to you for that question. Days of it. Yeah. Again, why I don't know. Again, yeah, I'm not going to go. Please, can will go down as the worst man. He's already there. He's broken the record. He's worse than ABB according to history. Numbers don't lie. Worst manager in Chelsea's history. I have no hope again that we win anything with him in charge. A Porter at the wheel. Again, you got a laugh really. Otherwise, again, he will, yeah, again, annoying and frustrating. Again, is that the same Bobby Smokey? Yeah, Smokey Signal. It sounds different. Again, a bit, he sounds like he has a cold or so. I sense that
Yes,
too.
I
But
do.
Choma, thank you for paying attention. For paying attention to that. Again, for me, again, it was better to make offer 100 million plus. Again, Potter has a diploma degree in emotional intelligence. Again, the British media call it again a degree in emotional behavior. For me, again, what's better again to make offer for Hendrick 100 million plus again than buy all the players like you said. Badia Shile has been excellent. But Bobby, go ahead. I'm sure you remember the question I asked you. Again, the media, the narrative shows it has gone a mostly negative night. It doesn't look good for him. Even he, again, I think the pressure is getting to him, and it's impacting his decision making. That's how I see it. But you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. The truth is, by the way, I do have a cold, quite a nasty one.
Yeah, again, that's
Uh,
I
but
sense that, but Chama picked
uh,
that quite well.
but I'm good, But everybody's tired of it. We're all bored with this guy. We're totally bored with it. You got these players. Nobody can be convinced that you cannot get a performance out of these players.
Mhm.
You cannot even get a goal out of these players. It's got to be down to the way you're using them. Now, he probably doesn't know how to use them in the Premier League. He can't
Mhm.
counter what the oppositions do, and it's just there's no way forward. Yes, you said a very interesting thing. I think the ownership are worried. They are extremely worried.
Mhm.
This is going to be a terribly wasteful exercise. And Todd Bowley, in particular, as the chairman of this group, will be worried because he's lavishing money that is not directly his. I think the big financiers of this project is Clear Lake. So that's Ekbali and Co. And they'll be thinking, they don't mind spending money, but this is a colossal waste. A colossal waste. You brought all of Brighton to Chelsea. You never kept any of the Chelsea fold. You just wholesale changed it and expected something to happen. What do you expect to happen? I don't really understand. Did he think, oh, if these guys are put in an environment with better players, they'll suddenly start ripping up trees? Their mentality is the
Mhm.
same. And this is a problem. As I say, right now, I'm just in a position where I'm hoping and praying for this miraculous change of events. Can it happen? Yeah, I suppose so. Is it likely? It doesn't seem that way at all. It really doesn't. And that's the reality. And they have to bet. You see, all the criticism people threw at Roman Abramovich, you can't take away from him. He knows how to win. He's a winner. He's ruthless. He doesn't care what people think about him. He knew the formula to win. Hire, you mess up once, twice, the third time, you're gone. That's Roman. Roman did not suffer any fools. The
And
longest period of
even
time.
though he wanted to keep again AVB
Yeah,
for the long term, and that he openly said, no matter what happens, AVB stay. Again, that's
yeah,
just giving him a vote of confidence. But he wanted him to turn things around, or he's gone. And FBB wasn't able to turn things around. He had to let him go.
it
Even if
wasn't.
you plan to again, even if the plan is to have again a stability in terms of again from a managerial perspective, you shouldn't let again an incompetent manager run the club into the gutter before you realize that that's not the person. There's a lot that have said that's not the man. I was one of his biggest supporters. My
Yes.
concern wasn't that he hasn't won anything because I know there's a first for everything. But go ahead, Bobby.
No, I mean Roman was not afraid to make decisions or take decisions. When Mourinho came the second time, it hurt him to let him go. I think that was the longest he had ever tried to hang on to a manager. He hung on until they were about a point from the relegation zone, and then he had to act, and boy, did he act. Uh, Emenalu got a lot of stick for that, but really, the decision really wasn't coming from him. It came
Mm,
from Roman, and he was pushed forward to face the fans. But Mourinho had turned the dressing room toxic. You know how Mourinho is. He's very
mm,
brash, and the players just weren't having it. They'd been used to being without him, and though he brought them success, he had upset several key players and it just wasn't going anywhere. And Roman pulled the trigger. That's the longest I've kept he has been before pulling the trigger. And of course, the shortest was perhaps the most ruthless. And for me, the least deserved actually uh, was
mm.
uh, was Carlo Ancelotti. All the others, there was good reason for them to go. But these guys, they are showing their naivety. Chelsea fans are tolerant of this naivety. We understand. They have shown their commitment, and it's appreciated. We understand. Now they've got to be tough. They've got to be tough. It's a
They
lot.
have to. They have to again. Again, just to do it. Otherwise, it gets worse for everybody.
Yeah, take the hit, go. Me, look, win or lose against Dortmund, I would get rid of him, to be honest.
Mm.
It will be unprecedented. The media will be up in arms, screaming, shouting, criticizing. He's an English manager, so that's you give them fuel, especially if he gets past Dortmund. Boy, would they! But you've got to be able to take these hits. Roman relished it. Roman loved it. You come at him with your criticism, and he comes at you with trophies. It's just that simple. Well, it sounds simple, but it's that tough. So this guy has to go. I can't really see any reason to justify him remaining as
Yeah.
manager right now. That entire coaching staff has to go.
Yep. Unfortunately, Bobby, you joined late. I think we should have you as the first guest tomorrow. It starts 9 p.m. your time. Having you as the first guest will go a long way.
I'm
And
sorry,
again,
I've been
you
working. I've just got back.
okay? No, okay. Now I understand, but I'm just explaining again. It's not again. It's not an obligation, but always nice to have you in time. Maybe Saturdays you'll be the first guest here. But I appreciate you finding time to join. You made a huge difference. I cannot thank you enough. I'll get what we have in the chat and then we'll call it a day. I have to go pick up my boy. Um, Need to head back into work, but just wanted to wish Thiago Silva speedy recovery. Thank you so much again for finding the time to join us and say that it's Kami. Big up, brother. I appreciate you. And I think I made you a managing more, so you know that already. I think you know. Champions League, again, second half was a product of individual quality of players. Well, yep, that's correct. Again, he wants a 60 million now. I must say, Porto making our players look worse than previously. Even Enzo, Felix, again, they all look confused. Again, Enzo breaking the record that Bobby Ferry showed us. Again, the player that's been dribbled past the most in Europe. Again, that's concerning. I thought again at Brighton he improved players. He seems again to be doing. He seems to be doing the opposite. Yeah, that's concerning. Sounds like Bobby is losing faith. The result incoming again. He'll be very, very direct at speaking his mind. After this couple of again months, sent coach again with players out of the club. Goodbye. Let's see again. What's up, the void? Nice to see you, brother. Pop, pop, pop. Much love to you, my brother. I appreciate you finding time to join. Porter and players out again, and these players cannot win more than 2 games. Wow, some concern. Again, Shajay11, big up everyone. Just wanted to add to what Bobby said. He's saying again, even here and there going forward, he will never get the best out of this team, and he will never be the man. It's clear he's not the man. For him to become the man, it would take a lot of learning, and Chelsea isn't where he should be learning that. Players will play good in UEFA Champions League. They will use, again, his individual qualities, but whatever Potter, again, the players out, again, I get it. Again, now he's realizing intelligence was being insulted in so many maybe not up to that length. Blessings, coach. Again, be safe, brother. Much love and nice to see you. Cobra, the snake, nice to see you. Potters, again, initial excuse for losing games was too many injuries. His current excuse is the fact we have too many players at the club. Yeah, that's hilarious, really. My friend and brother, cheers to you again. Again, one of the you were the first member ever before Bobby Fairview and someone else. I don't know who that is. Cheers for the stream. Again, I couldn't type as I was away from my desktop. The chess. Much love to you, brother. Pop, and I hope you had a good day. Again, it was your birthday yesterday. I hope you had so much fun. Potter out. Also, I cannot defend players too. I can't either. And to my brother, Bobby Fairview, big up to you, bro. Much love. Again, people are allowed, again, to change their minds. Oh, yeah. Again, and I welcome converts, if that's how somebody said it. But that's, by the way, Bobby will always give you time. If you don't, again, perform, you're in trouble. With that, I want to say thank you to Isaac, who was here on the panel with me, and Bobby, to always, again, to have found time to join us. And again, Bobby is an exception as to those, again, who doesn't have to be on camera to participate in the Daily Roundup Show. Then the Daily Roundup Show, if you missed anything during the day, don't miss the show. You will love it. Again, being called a snake is a violation. But why do you go by the name Cobra? But anyway, okay, apologies. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that again, because I know you're seeing it again. Let's say, for instance, with that, we've come to the end of the show. Much love to Cobra. Much love to Eugene Naughty, my bro, Bobby Fairview, Glenn, blessings, Mario Minto, and everyone else. The void. Again, Shajer 11. Again, if I miss your name, it's Kami who's at work. Again, work easy, work smarter, brother. Again, I hope to see you guys next time. God bless us all. And Valley too. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.